Alright, so today we're going to be fixing an iPad 5th generation. You're going to start off by heating the entire front of the iPad with a heat gun or a heating pad. After you do that, you're also going to be using a pry tool along with a playing card to get underneath the glass. This process takes quite a long time, so be patient. The goal of this step is to get under the glass without damaging the LCD. So as you can see, I'm going very slowly, and you're going to want to stick that pry tool in just far enough to get under the glue, but not too far where you damage the LCD. On this iPad, you're probably wondering where the ribbon cables are. It happens to be on the right-hand side, but for future reference, on any iPad you ever work on, you could just check on the replacement screen and it's going to tell you exactly where the ribbon cables are. Once you have the iPad propped open like this, there's going to be 4 Phillips head screws that you're going to be removing from the LCD so you can lift it directly upward. Then there's another set of screws underneath that attach the LCD to the motherboard. You may be wondering if you need to disconnect the battery, but it's not exactly necessary as long as you turn the iPad off before doing this repair. Once the digitizer is removed, the next step is to remove the home button from the digitizer. So this is another process where you're going to be going very slowly to make sure that you don't damage this sensitive ribbon cable. Now this is a very important step that a lot of people forget about. It's the part where you have to remove every small piece of glass from the borders of the iPad. The reason this is so important is because when you put the new display on, it might not sit flush if there's just a tiny piece of glass in the way. A lot of times on these aftermarket displays, you're going to be removing this little piece of tape and gluing this part on. I'm not really sure why it comes like that, but it's just an important step. Now we're going to be transferring on the home button from that broken digitizer. You're going to be using just a little bit of crazy glue on each side and then just hold it down and let it dry. This part is a little bit tricky because you're going to want to get that home button to sit flush and click on the first go. Just because once that glue dries, it's going to be super hard to take it off and redo it over again. Now it's pretty much just every step we did but backwards. We're going to reconnect all the cables, make sure they're sitting flush. Now you're going to get the LCD, clean it off, make sure it was in a clean place beforehand, and connect it. Once you have it connected, you're going to re-screw all the little screws that you took out. Once that's done, you reseat the LCD, put those 4 screws back in, and go ahead and test it out. And of course, keep this in mind that the battle throughout this repair is to keep that LCD lint free, because one piece of lint or one fingerprint is going to make that LCD look horrible. And once that glue is on, you do not want to take it back apart to start over again. Now that the glue is settled, go ahead and put a clip on there. I happen to be using some specialized clips, but any clips will do.